Phoenix heading to Memphis, and the Suns are a 7.5-point favorite on the road. Total 228.5. Suns winners of 9 straight, 7-2 against the number in that span, and going for franchise record 63 wins tonight. 4 of their last 6 games are on the road. Well, the Grizzlies clinched the 2 seed Wednesday night with a win in San Antonio, have won 6 straight and 10 of 11, 7-4 against the number in that span. But the Grizzlies injury report is a lot of people missing, a lot of people doubtful, including Desmond Bane, Steven Adams. So, Chelsa, are you going to lay the 7.5 with the Suns here?
No, this is like putting together a puzzle where some of the pieces are missing. There are way too many question marks in this one for me because it's not just nobody's on the injury report. It's Tyus Jones, Jaren Jackson Jr., one of the better defenders in the NBA, Desmond Bane, an excellent three-point shooter, and then Steven Adams, their center. And on top of this, Ja Morant has been out for the past few weeks. And I think that's the theory that we've all been testing. How are the Grizzlies even without Ja Morant? They've been good. They've had a winning record, a good winning record, I believe, without Ja Morant. But still, I think this is too many pieces, too many question marks in this one for me to want to bet on this game. So an absolute pass for me.
I don't want to bet on this game, but if I did, I would lay it with the Suns just because everybody is going to be out for Memphis. Like you mentioned, it's every single person. So if it were just Ja Morant, I wouldn't worry about it because the Grizz incredibly are 19-2 rounded they are as a team. But the Suns are back at home. I think they're motivated to maybe nail that franchise record tonight, get that number off the tie. And Memphis is not going to have anyone. I think the Suns could run away with this thing. So I'm not going to bet it, but I would lay the 7.5 with Phoenix.
Grizzlies really missing some of the most dynamic pieces of their offense. Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, Steven Adams. If they don't play, I mean, you don't have Ja already. Desmond Bane in particular, it just annihilates your ability to be kind of a threat on the 3-point line. I would lay it with the Suns here as well. I just don't see how the Grizzlies can be competitive. It's clear after clinching the 2 seed, they're good. They'll ride out the season and just stay healthy with the injury luck that they've had down the stretch here. The Wolves in Denver taking on the Nuggets. Nuggets 4.5-point favorites. Total 235.5. And the Timberwolves have lost 4 of their last 5 straight up and against the number. Before that, though, had won 10 of 11. This is the 3rd game of a 4-game road trip, while the Nuggets have won 3 straight and 4 of 5, 2-3 against the number. And a little bit of line movement here. Our producer, Matt Paisani, letting us know the total here is up from 235.5 to 237.5. Cool. So some serious movement money coming in on the over, Jenks.
I want no part of the total. I'm more of a side guy anyway. And initially, I lean Nuggets here, but I think the last time out that we saw the Timberwolves play, Minnesota did not get Karl Anthony Towns involved enough. He only got to attempt 13 shots in that game against the Raptors, which is one of the reasons why they're not going to make that mistake this time around. I would lean Wolves plus 4.5.
The Timberwolves have actually had Denver's number winning each of the last 2 matchups as underdogs. The last time out, or no, they weren't underdogs last time out, but laying 1.5, 130 to 115. And then in the other matchup, winning that one 124 to 107. And we talk about the Timberwolves losing 4 of their last 5 games, but look at who those games were against. Toronto, Boston, Phoenix, and Dallas. Those are 4 excellent, excellent teams. So I think I would lean towards the Timberwolves and the points just because they've matched up pretty well with Denver. And plus, I'm not reading too much into that losing record that we've seen over the last 5 games.
Those numbers, I just don't really see an edge, so I'm not super interested. The over, I would have been in on at 235.5, less so 237.5, but I mean, the Wolves are just a team that play no defense, are really kind of an electrified offense and play fast paced. So maybe there's not a number high enough in this game. That's also like there's potential for that. Pelicans in LA taking on the Lakers. And Lakers a short 1.5-point favorite, total 233.5, 10:30 Eastern time first tip. It's the second game of a 4-game road trip for New Orleans. The Pelicans have won 5 of 7, both straight up and against the number, while the Lakers have the 3rd worst against the spread record as a favorite, to no one's surprise, 15-26. And last night, right? They were missing LeBron and AD. Chelsea, any action on the Lakers here?
Yeah, it looks like both LeBron and AD are supposed to be playing in this one. That's why the Lakers are actually favored. But they've been barely good as a favorite when it comes to the money line, just 22-18 this season as a favorite, which is not very impressive. I think I would lean towards the Pelicans here just because I don't know who wants to bet on the Lakers right now. Even with their superstars, they're not a team that looks very good on offense. LeBron can score however many points he wants. And I think the Pelicans are a little better than people probably assume. They have won 3 of their last 4 games, including a game over the Lakers, 116-108. So I think I would lean towards the Pelicans. Not my favorite play, though.
It's not my favorite either, but I'm with you. I'd lay the short number or grab the 1.5 in New Orleans just because the Lakers cannot be trusted. And even if LeBron plays, he said himself that his ankle is, quote, horrible. So he may force himself to go, but he's not going to be 100%. The Lakers are just so bad right now. So if you're going to bet this game, I'd grab the points with New Orleans.
Yeah, I have no interest in betting on the Lakers, either on them or against them, just because they are totally untrustworthy. And yes, LeBron James and AD are good, but we've seen them over the course of the season. They're just very untrustworthy. Excuse me. Some good information to know if you're betting on the NBA tonight. Teams on the back end of a back-to-back, the Bucks and the Clippers playing each other, and the Pistons as well as the Lakers. Those are teams on the back end of a back-to-back. All right. So, Jenks, we've got a couple minutes left, and I believe somebody's on a little hot streak. So, Jenks, we're going to give you 60 seconds to talk NHL.
1 minute minor.
Guys, last night we got another win on Canadian soil, so let's do it again. I'm staying north of the border, heading to Edmonton where the Oilers are hosting the Blues. What's in Edmonton, you might be wondering? How about Elk Island National Park, where you can watch a herd of buffalo roam the plains unless you get too close, suffer an unnecessary death, and shame your family's name for all of eternity. Don't do that. With that, let's make this bet tonight. Oilers, minus 115 on the money line. Blues, minus 105. Total open at 6.5. This should be a high-scoring game. Edmonton averages 3.43 goals per game. The Blues put the biscuit in the basket at an even higher clip, scoring 3.52 goals per game, and we know the struggles the Oilers have had in net. Look at these trends. The total has gone over in Edmonton's last 5, including 6 straight games at home. Total has gone over in 5 of the last 6 games for St. Louis. I don't like these 6.5 point totals, but I'm playing it tonight. Give me over 6.5 goals between the Blues and the Oilers. That is juiced to minus 120 at BetMGM, and let's make it 4 straight wins on the ice.
Ooh, Jenks is heating up. He's talking about biscuits. This is a great segment. Now I want some biscuits. I think I'm going to go to Cracker Barrel after this.